Hi, my name is Alex Mendoza. I'm going to be walking you through my Tableau 2 project, and this is for ISM 3011. Now, first and foremost, for this project, we are given data, which is for every project. And right here, we can see that the United States was part of it. It given a certain sales team, a certain state, although not every 50 states is in the United States, zip code, city, and sales date. As we can see, it goes from 2021 all the way to 2022. Certain departments such as aerobic, exercise, and weights. And such as the item names, we can tell this is all physical fitness items. And then we go to sales that they made and profit. And for me personally, I made a profit ratio area right here, so we don't got to do the mathematical division in our head. And I want to expand upon this and later by making a bar graph comparing from 2021 to 2022 the sales of the certain items in each department compared to each state. And we can see how fairly well they did, how fairly not so well they did, and anything that stood out to us. And one department that stood out to me was the aerobics department in 2022 for Texas, and we can see an exponential growth right here. So I want to dive deeper into this, and I did this by going into the sales of Texas. And I looked at the different departments, different items they sold from 2021 to 2022, compared the average profit ratio, and seeing that although the average profit ratio went down in 2022, their sales went up abundantly. As we can see in these dark blue areas right here, they went up to 43 million compared to the 2 million they made, and the 7 million to the 29 million they made. So I want to do a comparison to this to the different states as well, just to see how the aerobic section right here we can see is the area they were doing good in, how that did compared to other states as well. So I got the two other highest profitable states as well, or two other high profitable states. So in my example, I picked Colorado and California since those were big players already. And I compared it, and it was true what I thought. Though they were growing abundantly in different areas, although for Colorado they actually decreased in the weight section the following year, they all made up for this and actually grew their numbers in profitability the next year through one certain area, which was the aerobics section. So you can see here it went from 12 million to 24 million for California. Right here for Texas went to 7 million all the way to 40 million. So we can see that the aerobic section is fairly important and highly profitable. And I just wanted to do a comparison of this to the other states. So I made a little profit map just to show how they were all comparing to one another, who was standing out and who wasn't, who was a big player, who wasn't keeping up with the other ones. But further on to this, I want to make a little map right here and a interactive dashboard just to show you how things changed throughout. And then we can see here how they did throughout all the years each state. How did they did the next year and the year after. And then if we want to pick a certain state, it breaks it down to this 2021, 2022. If we picked all years, how it just breaks it down solo if we pick a certain year, and so on and so forth. But we can see Texas obviously doing fairly well in their aerobic section like we saw. And then for my storyboard, I just want to break this down how I saw the Department of the Aerobics a big player through Texas right here from the beginning. Like I said, the bar graph showing how this was the main one that stuck out to me. Further showing how even compared to the other states that were also highly profitable, Texas and California and Colorado were growing exponentially in the aerobic section. How even through their low average profit ratio decreasing throughout the year, and their sales were still managed to grow, though in different areas as well. We can see that they did fairly well in weights and exercise. Texas had their mainstay in the aerobic section. And like I said, I want to show the cumulative growth in each state all throughout just to get a good comparison of Texas and the aerobic section and how they were doing compared to the other states. And I want to look at Texas through all the years. So right here we can see that they were doing fairly well through 2021 to 2022, and we can see that they were doing good and they had high profitability compared to most of the states out here. And like I said, we can see that right here they were fairly catching some speed, although they were not all the way there, but yet they were still a mainstay. And then we can see here the aerobic section is exactly what brought their main profit. So we can say that aerobics is a big mainstay if anybody wants to make profitability or sales. So we can conclude the aerobics section is where the money's at, and it's something to take in consideration if you're not making as much as you want as a state to stick into aerobics. Another thing that I want to say is what I learned through Tableau. I learned about all the different columns, all the different graphs you can make, such as like making a storyboard or an interactive dashboard, as you can connect two of these together, or even make a slider by yourself. And a storyboard can be used to compare what you've learned and what you feel you can tell with the information you found, and how it can actually create something that you might feel is necessary to show what you're trying to say.